Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrap in Scotland, and welcome back to the laser cannon strip down. Yep, that's right, this lovely laser cannon is going to be stripped down. Now, this laser cannon shoots two types of projectile. It shoots a laser and also it shoots a proton beam. Okay, so I've been messing around this in the garden, cut down several trees by mistake, just because of the kick on it. Burnt down a neighbour's shed, apologies for that, but you know, these things happen when you're testing out laser based weapons, but you know, still, we're going to take it apart anyway, guys. As you can see, it's a lovely weapon. It's got its motor here up front, generates the pulse. Okay, this is the chamber, and the chamber here is where it generates the power for the laser. Okay, and they interact very well and will basically obliterate anything in its path. Okay, we have the base handle, and we also have the rear handle. Okay, so it can be held up as such for when you're firing the weapon. Okay, now all it needs to fire the weapon is we twist this handle down and it will discharge. Okay, we got this futuristic looking assault weapon, but we're going to take it apart, guys, and we're going to tear it down, and we're going to see if we should have just left it as a nice piece of art like this, because I think that looks really cool, I have to say, or if it's worth a while taking it apart. Well, let's see. Okay guys, so this is the components that fell out of the motor, this piece itself. So if you look further inside here, you see there's a lot of gears and that still in there still. Oh, not a lot of gears, there's actually only kind of 3 sprockets in there, but we can get them out as well. But we need to get this piece off first. But these are the things that came out of it. So as you can see, we've got a couple of ball bearing wheels here. These will be steel, and we'll check the other pieces. So you can see that's steel. That one's steel as well, as is that one. That one's quite interesting actually. As you can see, there's a bit of a lip. It looks like it's been bashed in at one end of a hammer, but that's obviously the design of it. It's pretty cool, but all that is shred. Okay, this little piece here looks like it's aluminium, and indeed it is. This top piece looks like it's plastic, so we'll see if we can get that out. There we go. Then we've got a nice clean piece of aluminium. I'm going to put this down. So now we're going to have to take apart the rest of this motor. So we will start taking off all the connectors. Okay, to break it free now of this housing, we'll just give it a little tap. Both sides. There we go, just pulled it out. Okay, so now we've got our motor and we've got our clean piece of cast aluminium. Okay, let's have a look at this piece. So this is where the water will feed through. We seem to have a switch here. Maybe even a bit of copper in there. Let's get out all the metal off of this and get this taken apart. Okay, so that piece just pulls off with a power cord. One piece of steel off. Two pieces of steel off. Got a little piece here as well. Okay, here's another piece. Now the rest of this is just plastic. There's one more metal piece here, sorry. Get that off. And the rest of that is plastic now. Let's look at this little unit. Take off the connectors. Okay, we'll sort that wire out in a bit. That looks like a nice bit of brass in there. That's a nice surprise. Got a little bit of brass with a little silver contact. Again, nice silver contact there. Plastic waste. And now we come to our motor. Alright guys, so this is where we are now with the teardown. So we have the armature, which we will scrap out at another time. We're not going to scrap that out, but I'll weigh that up as an electric motor just now. We've got our cast aluminium pieces here. We obviously have our copper bearing stator here, which we're going to scrap out as well. We have our brass sleeves for our motor. We've got various little bits of brass here as well. Obviously a few of them with silver contacts that need cleaned up. And then we have a little couple of bits of copper wire that come from the brush motor. So, last thing we want to do with this is to clean this up and get the copper out. So to do that with these, I cut off these little ends. Then I lay it down and then I cut through the bottom piece of copper. Obviously the sharper your snips are, the better. These are fairly sharp. They're fairly new, so it should get through it without much issue. Okay, so that's us through one side. We use the table as our leverage. So we sit on the table, cut into it, until we got all the way through. Okay, now we've done that, we've got two nice clean cuts. We can stick it in the vise and we can wedge it out from the top. So the only thing left to do now is to weigh it up and see what we got. Okay guys, let's start with our aluminium. We've got 503.7 grams. And in pounds, that's 1 pound, 1.8 ounces. Let's check out our brass next. Remember, this has a couple of silver contacts that need to be cleaned up as well. Okay, so only a little bit of brass, and that comes to 14 grams. And that is half an ounce. Onto our electric motor, our armature. Our armature weighs 431.8 grams. And that's 15.2 ounces. But there's too much copper in there, guys, for me to be leaving behind. This copper will be coming out, this copper will be coming out, and the rest of that will be going to shred. Finally, let's weigh up our copper. Can't forget the couple of little bits that came with our brush motor. And then our lovely copper wire that we got from our motor. That's 143.3 grams. And that weighs 5 ounces. Okay, just for the fun of it, let's weigh the shred. Just because it's a little bit oily, we've still got it in a cloth. Okay, so the shred is just over half a kilo. It's 559.2 grams. And that's 1 pound, 3.7 ounces. Well guys, that is it for another episode of Scrapping Scotland. Thanks as always for joining me on this video. If you liked this video, then please do hit that like button. It would be very much appreciated. And you know what, if you really liked it, then please hit that share button and share it out to your friends and community as well. If you're not a subscriber to the channel guys, then hit that subscribe button and you can get a notification of the next time a video drops on Scrapping Scotland. So come along and join me for lots of different types of scrap down. And I hope you enjoy some of my other videos as well while you stop by the channel. For now guys, we'll see you next time on Scrapping Scotland. Bye for now.